Yeah, you work so hard for 9 months, to get to this point, the August report date and the newness of it. Every single group is different. Even though you may have a veteran group of players coming back, you're always going to have new players coming in, new coaches, and every season brings something new, and so there is an excitement, no matter what's going on that we all look forward to. And again, you spend, the months after the season in recruiting and spring practice and more recruiting and camps and and to finally get to go out and do what you truly enjoy doing, which is coaching these young men. There's some finality to it, and then Friday's going to jump up on us and it's going to be exciting. No, that's it. I mean, and again, we use the mantra creating an identity, and it's something that we truly believe in. And as I said, though, every year that identity is going to be just a little different. Now, there are things that we truly believe in as a coaching staff, as a program that we preach to our young men, as you just said, one play, one series, one quarter, one game. Those are things we talk about every single day. And yes, I'm glad to hear that our young men are listening. And not just food coming out of our mouths, but actually buying into it, and that's how you build a program. Now, the identity of this team is going to be different than the identity of last year's team, and the difference between the 2016 team. So it's always going to be a little bit different. But if you have your basis down, if you have the groundwork laid, you're going to be just fine. It's very interesting that you speak about that. Myself and my coaching staff have been meeting every day for 2 weeks now and talking about things, and that's one of the things that we've talked about a lot, and teaching and learning how to finish, whether it be a quarter, whether it be a half, whether it be a game, because you're right. I mean, the difference, and especially in this conference, the difference between being a conference champion and a 500 team is so slim. It may be one play here, one play there, that we have to learn how to do that. And again, we continue to grow. Our team last year was mainly sophomores. This year now we have a lot of juniors coming back. And again, I hope that 1 year of experience and learning from those situations will get us through.
Right track.
Well, again, I feel really good about Tev, and Tev, the biggest thing for him is he coached high school football for about 1.5 years, and I think that's made him a better football player, because you take off the cleats and the helmet and you put on that coaching hat and you get a different perspective. So being able to take some of these young freshmen under his wing and say, okay, hey, this is how it's done, this is how we need to operate, this is what we expect from you, those lessons are invaluable. When a young man maybe is teetering on that line, the experience and the old man wisdom, I call it, will step in and really salvage and help a young man move through this college football process and the university process. Michael has really come a long way since we got him as a freshman. He was a part-time starter as a true freshman, started every game last year as a sophomore, and now he's really taken more of a leadership role, and that's what he and I have worked on. I took he and another young man, and we met twice a week in the off-season about what it meant to be a leader and leadership things that they needed to step up to do, because he came to me and wanted to be a leader, which shows me that if a young man is willing to take the time and effort because he wants to lead, then you're going to teach him how to do that, and that's what we did. And he continues to work on that process of taking these. And again, we'll find out more even Friday, because we've got, I think, I want to say like 8 new freshman DBs coming in, so he's going to have his work cut out for him, but he's got help, and again, like you said, we've got 7 starters returning, but there's probably another 8 to 10 defensive guys that played snaps for us a year ago, so it's a good mix of young and old. We're excited. Like I said, this conference, there is no off weeks, and I think everybody in this conference finds that out. There's no flukes. Pueblo, as dominant as they've been, as well as they've played over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, they go into Fort Lewis last year and lay an egg and get beat by a Fort Lewis team that came out better prepared, more excited, wanted to win the game. It wasn't about Pueblo did this or that to beat themselves. Fort Lewis beat them, and the same can be said for us. Okay, same can be said for Colorado Mesa. It doesn't matter. This conference is so strong from top to bottom that there is no break. Now, to go into the conference champions at their place on the opening night at 6 p.m., yeah, you get a little juiced. And it's not going to be hard to talk about for the next 3 weeks of fall camp when guys are a little tired and a little down and things like that. You might want to throw that Thunderwolves sticker up on a locker and say, let's go to work, and so the motivation part of it will be very easy.